It's Week 16 of the 2024 season, and all eyes are on Drake May. He's going to have to air it out plenty this week. It's the Monarchs and the Voyagers, and it comes your way next.
EA Sports coverage of the National Football League brings us to one of the great cities of the world, London, England.
Alongside my partner, Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, you look at the Londoners as they get ready here. They come into this one off a bit of a clunker last time out, a loss that ended their 5-game winning streak.
Meanwhile, for our visiting Parisian ball club,
it's late in the year. We all know it. We've seen the calendar. For these guys, their bodies could probably use a break, but they have to push on.
And they're really not as worried about that as maybe we think. They know they've got the entire offseason to rest. All they care about is the game in front of them and finishing strong.
The holiday season is upon us. We've got the gift of the NFL as we're underway here in Week 16. And they can't bring him down.
And able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped it to 23-yard line.
So out comes this offense to take over for the first time. And they will be led out by a man in his sophomore campaign as the quarterback.
And last week's loss came despite a clean game on his end, throwing the ball with 2 touchdowns and 0 interceptions. His job this week is simple. Do it again. Continue to avoid turnovers and hope that what sunk them last week resolves itself this time around.
And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down. Well, you often say that sort of opens the playbook now, second and short. What do you think, early shot here?
I like where you're going. Obviously, we've been together for a while because you know me. I want to take that shot early and loosen things up.
It'll be a loss of 4 yards on the play, and it brings up 3rd and 5 now.
They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks.
They just do get the playoff as he'll look to throw. Able to find a lot of empty space there, picking up the first down at a 21-yard gain.
Well, he and his offense were staring down what was likely a 3-and-out. 0 fear from his side, though. Never doubted for a second they pick up the first. He's ready to pull the trigger on a keeper the moment it revealed itself.
Levis from the gun. He'll get this underneath to Montgomery.
And they get to him after a gain of 6 to the 46.
And a nice gain and a broken tackle along the way, and really we shouldn't be surprised, should we? That's what runners do, especially the best ones. They break tackles and gain extra yardage.
They'll try the middle with Montgomery. And tackled down after a gain of 3. Leaves him with 1 yard to go on 3rd down.
So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first down.
Now Thomas will come in motion right.
He'll get an opportunity with it on the touch pass.
And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. They're able to convert with a gain of 4.
And this is just a little touch pass. They send the receiver in motion, just kind of tap it forward to him. Now, it doesn't turn into a huge play, but they do pick up a first down, a nice, consistent gain.
His throw incomplete. Thomas the intended target, but it'll be 2nd down.
When you look at this defense,
and they find themselves just outside the top 10 in the league against the pass, currently bringing up the number 11 spot.
So I'm prepping for this game. I kept asking myself the question, what's keeping this group from being top 10 in the league against the pass?
And
too many mistakes, especially little mistakes. And those add up into big mistakes. Big mistakes add up into points against you.
They'll throw it again with Levis.
Flush to his... And he can't find anywhere to go with it. And he goes down. Montez Sweat in there for the sack, and he's closing in on the all-time record. That's number 19 on the year. On 4th down, out is the punter Cameron Johnston to boot it away. He punted 4 times in the loss last week as he gets this one away here. So out comes this offense to take over for the first time.
They'll be led out by the former Tar Heel, their rookie quarterback from UNC.
And there was a positive in last week's loss. No interceptions thrown by him. But he only threw one touchdown pass, and you know he wants that to improve. He might even consider that as part of the reason that they couldn't take the win last time out. I believe we'll see a more aggressive version of him this week whenever they're nearing the end zone.
And it's incomplete, broken up. But there is a flag down. Let's see what that's about.
So he gets too far beyond the line, and that's an easy call for the official. They'll give it to Patterson.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down. They went with the run-pass option, and I don't know if the option really mattered there because the defense was ready.
So many times you put the defense at a disadvantage because you have those multiple options, but when they read their keys and play it correctly, sometimes the result goes in their favor.
That's complete. It's Brandon Ayuk. Across midfield.
And down to the 27-yard line. A big play there on the catch and run. 59 yards.
Another good throw there in what has been a strong rookie season to this point, Charles, as he now has surpassed the 3,000-yard mark with that last completion.
And just think, he's been forced to learn on the job here in his first year. Normally, veterans talk about, hey, I've got the answers to the test before the game even begins. But this guy's taking the test with every throw, with every game. And so far, he's passing with flying colors.
And this one almost intercepted. Had a chance to come down with it in the end zone, but could not hang on. They'll throw with May. He throws it on the move, but can't connect as that falls incomplete.
That's a big force incompletion there to bring up 3rd and long, and this defense can still salvage a little momentum by forcing them to kick a field goal, because just a few plays ago, they looked like they were headed towards the end zone.
That one a broken play, but it ends up being a good play. The scramble goes for 20.
He's a talented runner, and that means he's always looking for bigger and bigger gains when he takes off. Certainly found some bonus yards there beyond the first down marker, and this early drive will continue with that extra jolt from his legs.
They'll run with Patterson.
And he's going to bull his way down to about the 1-yard line. A nice pickup of 6 there to get him closer to the end zone, and it'll be 2nd and goal. They'll send one of those 2 tight ends in motion.
They'll try again.
And he is into the end zone for a touchdown. Cordero Patterson
with his 14th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Monarchs will jump on top with the game's first score here this afternoon. So that a great sequence for these guys to begin the ball game. They force the punt on one end, then come right down the field and score on the other.
And that's a great example of leaning on each other and building a little momentum that way. How about the defense forcing the punt, turns it over to the offense with confidence, and they take it downfield and score.
A good hold in these wet conditions. The point after is up and good, and that makes the score 7-0. After the touchdown, out is Prater to kick.
And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28.
Back onto the field comes this offense, ready for their second drive. As we grind toward the end of the season here, and they haven't had the season that they had hoped. So let me ask you to play GM. Where might they look to make some changes?
I think when you look into the upcoming draft, think hard about them drafting multiple offensive linemen. They've got to get stouter up front. And as a GM always tells me, Charles, this is a big boy league, and big people always end up winning games for you.
A big play there on the catch and run. 67 yards.
And the offense is saying to itself right now, if only they were all this easy, because he was wide open. And once he made the catch, plenty of room to work his way downfield. That was a breakdown on the defensive side of the ball, one that they want to fix immediately.
Levis out of the shotgun now.
Dancing to his left. And he'll take it into the end zone for a touchdown.
It's his 10th rushing touchdown on the campaign, number 11 overall. And the Voyagers are within an extra point of tying up this ball game.
So the big play to kick off the drive set them up first and goal, and they're able to cash in right away on play number 2.
I think I'm starting to understand more and more when we get ready to do games and we meet with coaches, why they talk about big plays, explosive plays, and how it sets them up for success, because that's exactly how they're able to score on this one. We saw the touchdown, we saw the payoff, but of course that big, long chunk play is what got them in position.
And out a little across the 25 to the 27. The Monarchs offense and their quarterback coming out for their second drive. And he's off to a fast start throwing the football. Pretty good numbers already for just the first quarter of play.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive.
And they, if you just look at this game, Charles, on paper, they've got the edge, no doubt. They're hanging around the top of the NFC. On the other side, you got a squad that's towards the bottom of the NFC. But when we mentioned that to the coaches, they were having no part of it.
Yeah, and I like how you said when we mentioned it. In fact, I mentioned it, and I upset them a little bit, didn't I? Because they wanted no part of that one, and I was reminded, like a 5-year-old, this is the NFL. Any given Sunday, anything can happen. They are guarding against the upset.
Throwing here is May.
And he works his way past the line of scrimmage and then slides to a halt. He'll wind up getting right about 4 there on the scramble, and it's second down.
And they go play action with May.
And he will slide to a stop. He does have the first down. 23 yards on the tuck and run.
Bottom line is that he is just something else as a runner, because there are not many QBs in this league who can rip up a game that big, and he did it with the defense, give him a little extra attention after he hit him on a run earlier this series.
So on the other side of the field now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got things rolling on this drive.
Looking to throw. May.
And that'll be knocked away. It's incomplete.
Well, these two division rivals, the schedule maker gave them a couple of second-half meetings this year. They met for the first time back in Week 11, and it was the visitors getting the win there, so they'll be looking for the sweep back here at home.
That is caught. Michael Pittman with it. And he will take this one in for a touchdown. Michael Pittman, his 6th touchdown of the season. And his guys have taken the lead.
I'll let you do the analysis, partner, but with every touchdown pass this young quarterback throws and with the success that his team has had, I just continue to be more and more impressed.
Let's both do the analysis. Impressed, aren't we both?
Yeah.
I mean, and why shouldn't we be? We've seen him improve throughout the year. We've seen him settle in now, and you can see the confidence of the team has grown. His confidence has grown. I think that everyone around this guy feels good about what they've seen, and it's also safe for him when he's driving home to turn on Sports Talk Radio. He's okay.
After the touchdown, out is Prater to kick.
Now a crease here as he's past the 30. Now that should give him a spark. He's across the 40 to the 43. The Paris offense out to have another go at it. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out, looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways, because you know they're both motivated. They both game planned for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
So on the other side of the field now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got things rolling on this drive.
Levis. That's the rookie from Georgia, Lad McConkey.
And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 15 yards there for number 15.
Another nice play there. They've gotten down into the red zone in no time at all. That's what this offense can do when they get on a roll. And now they're set up with a 1st and 10.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. Going up the gut, Montgomery. Trying to run inside, but nothing there.
They're there for the stop defensively, Nick Bonito. 2nd and 10. Working from the gun, here's Levis.
Catch here, left side, Thomas. And he will take it in for the touchdown.
Brian Thomas.
A 16-yard touchdown.
And the Voyagers are an extra point away now from tying this ball game. A nice connection there, finding his target, and that'll put 6 up on the board.
Just like they drew it up in their playbook and reiterated it on the sidelines, right? Perfect route, a good throw, and the defense, they had no answer for that right there.
Extra point up and through by Myers. And we are tied at 14. A drive there of just 4 plays. This one tied at 14 now as he sends this one away.
And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26.
And as this offense makes their way back out, NFC playoff race time, we give you a look at what's going on there. And the points, they have come fast and furious in this quarter.
You really don't want to be on the defensive side of the ball right now, do you? Because you're either thinking, my replacement may get an opportunity.
Your head better be on a swivel.
Totally. Or maybe I just need to get out of the game for a while because I just can't slow these guys down. They've got to figure out a way to disrupt these offenses. And typically, one guy makes a big play, and that can help change things.
They'll be looking for disruption on both sides right now.
To throw, it's May. That ball caught. Brandon Ayuk.
And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. That'll go as a pickup of 32 on the catch and run.
When they've needed a play this year, he's certainly been the guy to deliver it. As this season has gone on, he's been awfully consistent and sometimes spectacular.
So on the other side of the field now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got things rolling on this drive.
Out of the gun, a run with Patterson.
And he will possibly get back to the line of scrimmage. That's it. On the other hand, it will definitely take us to the end of the 1st quarter of play. Second quarter now, and it's London with the football as they've got it with a 2nd and 10.
To the air, May.
And they'll get 8 out of this before being stopped at the 28.
No shortage of impressive moments from him thus far. Now he's halfway to the century mark, and we're still in the 1st half. There's been no answer for his running ability so far by the defense. I can't wait to see what adjustments they'll have to make during the halftime break.
Well, he's taken down, but not before picking up the first thanks to a flashy little spin move.
3rd and 2, right? So this is a situation where low man has got to win at the line of scrimmage, but it's not just the low man winning. It's the low man who's winning with some force, and they had that to pick up the 1st down.
Barely picking it up, but they did. And nothing much materializing there on the 1st down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
Ball at the 23, 2nd and 8. Again, Patterson.
And his rough afternoon continues. He's going nowhere again. Officially no gain on the play, and they're left with a 3rd and 8.
Here's May.
Disaster there, resulting in a loss of 7 on 3rd down. So on is Matt Prater now to try a field goal here. It'll come from the right hash. It's a 47-yard attempt. And the now 40-year-old veteran able to put this one through, and they take a 17-14 lead.
So they're able to end that drive with 3 points in this one-possession ball game.
And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks would tell you, let's end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number 1. Field goal you'll take. Punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game.
Here's the Paris offense ready to take possession.
And they'll just simply be looking to build off the confidence of the last time out where they scored a touchdown.
Man, confidence is powerful, isn't it? When you've scored once, you feel like you can go back out there and get it done again. Doesn't matter what the defense throws at them. They feel like they're in a groove right now, and they want to get out there and show it.
Yeah, hoping to stay in that groove here this go-around. And they work this well upfield across the 45. Great way to start the drive. 20 big ones and a first down.
Levis back to throw.
Over the middle, and it's incomplete.
Well, that's a defensive coordinator's got to be happy with that result. They took away all options downfield and forced the incompletion.
From the gun, it's a give to Montgomery.
They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4.
Not a ton of room available on that one, but he made use of what space was available and gained decent yardage.
Here's Levis.
Buying time to his left. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes.
Grady Jarrett in there to get him for a loss of 3, and it will be 4th down.
Now on 4th down, it's Cameron Johnston on to punt it away. And a good result there as that'll get out of bounds and pin them back at their 10-yard line.
The Monarchs offense and Brandon Ayuk getting set for this next possession. And it may be time for this defense to start throwing a second defender his way, because whatever they've done, it has not worked in this first half. Ayuk going to go in motion right.
A little jet sweep to start the drive.
And that is not fooling anyone. He never had a chance to turn the corner there, and they'll go backwards right away.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Now back to throw. Throw out right, taken in by Patterson. And he'll lose yardage and be down at the 7-yard line. Call it a loss of 2 there on the play. And that'll make it 3rd and 13.
And not an easy spot here. They'll be in search of 13 yards to try to pick up the first.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And he'll protect himself at the end here as he winds up getting pretty decent yardage. Pretty solid gain of 7 yards that time as he scrambled, but now they face a 4th down.
Well, there were a couple of extra defensive backs in the game, so he really had nowhere to go with the football despite his search for an open receiver. So he has to take off and run for it, but he comes up well short of the line to gain.
And here's Gillen on now to punt as he gets this one away.
It'll be a net of 40 yards there following a 43-yard punt, 3-yard return.
And they will take over 1st and 10. Here's the Paris offense ready to take possession. Defense got the better of them last series, forcing a punt. See if they make a few changes in the game plan here and try to get points out of this drive. 1st and 10.
To Montgomery to begin the drive. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the 1st down run. He gets maybe 3.
Not a lot of running room there, not a place to make a cut and kind of exit out because they had everything bottled up. Looked to me like the linemen were taking on their blocks really well and giving up no creases.
And a pretty athletic run right there as he's going to get this down inside the 40.
Give him 14 on that one and a 1st down.
Levis sets up to throw here. A quick throw there going to be batted away and incomplete.
Quarterbacks work all the time on manipulating the defense with their eyes and their head movement. In this case, he just stared the receiver down. That allowed for excellent coverage, able to knock that one away.
That's good. Now the ball comes loose.
Oh, one of the linebackers has got it.
And his guys are going to take over at the 21-yard line.
All these years we've been watching the game, I start to get the sense that whenever it rains out, those guys have to touch the ball.
And now before the ball changes hands, they're going to take a look at this just to make sure that they have it right. Now the question, was the knee in fact down before this ball comes loose? And is the video convincing enough to overturn it?
A lot of factors here. Remember, you also need clear possession of the football afterwards. This is a tough one to overturn.
So that one overturned. They say the knee was down, and that will not be ruled a fumble. Back to throw, it's Levis. Right back to Pitts again.
Call it a gain of 6 on the play, and it'll be second down.
Levis looking to throw. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet.
Now, again, it's Levis looking to throw it. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete.
And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving. They'll run with Montgomery. And he's brought down right at the 5-yard line. Give him 2 on the play. And the ball smack dab on the 5-yard line. Here's second and goal. They try again with Montgomery. And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. Call it a gain of a yard as they get a little bit closer here. It's third and goal.
Now Levis.
And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. The decision to tuck and run gets him 3, but that's not enough. Now it's 4th.
They made a nice effort to stick him with a loss for that play, but it's going to take more than that to keep him from advancing the ball. Should be an entertaining battle anytime he tucks and runs over the second half of this contest.
They're not going to kick it. A chip shot, but they're going for it down 3 on 4th down. Montgomery, they'll run for it. And I'm not sure he got there. Did they stop him? They did. Coming up at halftime in a little less than 2 minutes, we'll send you to Orlando where Jonathan Coachman is standing by. He'll have highlights and analysis of this first half. And he'll get this only up to about the 3-yard line. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's second and 9. A shotgun handoff to Patterson. And he'll get this up past the 5 to the 7-yard line. Call it a gain of 5 that time, and they'll be left with a third and about 4. Now the offense going to use the first of their timeouts.
So as they talk it over, we step aside.
And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. He'll look to throw. And now it looks like we're going to get a timeout here. We've got a man shaken up.
Always unfortunate to see an injury, especially this close to the end of the regular season. We'll step aside. From the gun, it's May.
And nowhere to fit that football in. It's knocked away and incomplete.
The quarterback got away with one there. Looked like he was in line for a pick, but instead, it's knocked harmlessly to the turf.
And second and 10, he'll look to throw again. Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Patrick. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. 2 first downs have him up to the 41 now for 1st and 10. They're going to look to throw.
The toss here completed to Pittman.
Now another timeout called for by the offense as the clock will stop with 45 seconds to go in the first half.
They'll throw with May.
Throwing the out route and complete. It's Patrick. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40.
2nd down and a little more than a yard here. Throwing here is May.
And this is incomplete.
Not sure what happened out there, but it looked like the timing was a little off on that throw.
Well, you know I'm a defender, so what am I going to say?
Great defense.
Darn right. They did something to disrupt that timing.
From the shotgun, May with it. Oh, he had him. He was open, but he couldn't get it to him. It's incomplete.
And based on my math, they've only converted 1 time thus far in this game, so you can see the frustration starting to come out a little bit. 3rd downs, they've been a problem for them all game. They've got to start becoming solutions.
Prater's kick is good. And they stretch the lead to 6. It's 20-14 now. So it's 4th and 1. They wind up taking the 3, but I'm not sure that that offensive unit, judging by the sideline, Charles, was in 100% agreement with the decision.
No, not at all, but the head coach has final call on this. We know that. But let's face it, offenses want to feel like, hey, you believe in us, let us go for it. We'll see if that is a problem for them moving forward in this game.
You see David Montgomery heading back out to begin the drive.
And he's closing in on that number that all running backs circled beginning of the year, the number 1,000. Could do it on this drive.
And you have to think to yourself that this moment, getting to this spot, it started in the offseason, right? Not just the workouts, right? Not just getting yourself physically prepared to play, but mentally, as well as your team, as well as your unit, head coach, offensive coordinator. We run the football. We give you opportunities. He's taking advantage of it.
And when you get this close to the mark, you just hope things don't tighten up, right? You probably want to get there and get it in your rearview mirror.
You really do, don't you? Because now it becomes predominant, and you wonder about play calling as well. Do you want to call plays to get that out of the way, or are you still calling plays to win the game?
Levis in trouble. Down he goes.
They get to him for a loss of 4, and it brings up 3rd down of a sack. So we have reached halftime in what's a 6-point game at the break. As it's time now to send you back stateside to Orlando, Florida, and check in with Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, we'll get back to you two in a bit. For now, plenty of early game action around the NFL to get you caught up on, so let's get to it. We'll start out west in the capital city of Sacramento, California, where it was definitely a game with some intrigue, as you can see by the scoreline. Devin Singletary, what a game. 3 touchdown runs in the victory.
Okay, Coach, yeah, adjustments likely going to play a big role in this 3rd quarter in what's been a tight contest so far.
As they say here in London, all to play for as we are back underway in the 2nd half.
And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line. The Monarchs offense and Drake May headed back onto the field. And this defense has got to be at its wits' end, trying to come up with ways to keep him contained. He's had so many opportunities to tuck it and go, and he's turned a number of those opportunities into big plays. May going to bat this one forward. Well, a great read by the secondary. They come up to stop that touch pass before it can even get back to the line.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11.
And they go play action now. May.
And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. It'll go as a loss of about 6, and now it brings up 3rd.
Looking to throw. May.
Under pressure again, and down he goes again. Call it a loss of 4 there on the sack. And speaking of the number 4, it brings up 4th down now. Here's Jamie Gillen now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. His first punt, 45 yards. This looks good as well. Fair catch called for. No gimme in these conditions, but he's able to look this one in.
The Voyagers offense had quarterback Will Levis ready to go to work once more. And he's been a nightmare to scheme against throughout this one. This defense has been totally taken apart, and that is borne out in his numbers. He's been terrific all game long. And they'll begin by running the option. And some nifty running here as he'll take this across midfield and down to the 47.
The drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup.
Read option, here's Montgomery.
And he'll get this down only to about the 46.
Jeremy Chin there defensively. From the 46, here's 2nd and 9. Levis.
And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. Able to find a lot of empty space there, picking up the first down at a 21-yard gain.
Remember, Brandon, he ran for a touchdown earlier, so his decision to go ahead and tuck it and go again turned out to be a wise one.
And the decision is what is important here. He has made some good decisions on when to tuck it and go.
Levis to throw it.
Throw left side complete. That's Montgomery. The completion, but they go in the wrong direction. A loss of yards, and now they're dealing with a 2nd and long.
So they accept the penalty, of course, and push the offense backwards a bit. Working from the gun, here's Levis. That one complete to McConkey. Here's 3rd and 9.
They just do get the playoff as he'll look to throw. Escaping the pressure right. And that's not going to get it done. He'll come up well short of the first at about the 21. He opted to go with a scramble, gets 2 yards, and now it's 4th.
I'm actually looking at this play with defensive eyes here, partner, because they were still laser focused on him after his earlier exploits on this drive. I think they went back to the well just a little bit too soon. He got across the line of scrimmage, but they certainly weren't giving up much more than that.
Myers' kick is good, and that cuts the lead down to just 3, 20-17.
Well, in a close game like this, obviously you want the touchdown, but certainly they will take the 3.
And they'll be okay with that, but let's throw a little credit to the defense as well. And I'm just glad this doesn't come down to a debate, right? Which side won, partner? Because the defense, hey, we didn't give up a touchdown. The offense, hey, we put 3 on the board. Either way you look at it, I think both sides gained something out of that drive.
London about set to take over on offense. These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out.
And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. 23 yards the pickup there.
That's really good play design right there, and it's one that comes down to the offensive line. It's a deep in route, but it's only going to work if that line gives you time in the pocket to wait for the route to develop. Mission accomplished there as they pick up the first down.
And this turns into a nice gain with a slide at the end. Big yardage there on the scramble. It gets him a first down.
I think the last two plays really illustrate how difficult it is to game plan against this guy, because you know he can throw the football, but how about his use of legs as well? What we call those broken plays, you can't account for them.
Yeah, those plays, those two that you just mentioned, a microcosm really of how he can hurt you. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. This gain not quite as good as the last, but still over 40 yards between the two. Two big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal.
Patterson will get about halfway there as he takes this from the 4 down to the 2.
He'll get 2 out of that run, and it's going to bring up a 2nd and goal. 2 of their 3 red zone trips so far they've come up empty on. They'll look to reverse that trend on 2nd. And he is into the end zone for a touchdown.
Antonio Gibson taking it in from 2 yards out. And the Monarchs add 6 to their lead. But just power football there down near the goal line. Give it to him. He's able to push his way across.
Yeah, they went heavy there. Sometimes you have those big offensive linemen come in, have to report like they're eligible, but all they're doing is getting a good stance, blocking, and getting their runner across the goal line.
Prater for the extra point, and his guys will take a 10-point lead. After the touchdown, out is Prater to kick.
And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. The Paris offense out to have another go at it.
And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6.
Now 2nd and 3.
And the slot man goes in motion left.
Levis from the gun.
And his throw is incomplete. They don't get the hook up there, but you really have to marvel at how precise he's been throwing the football these last couple weeks.
Oh, that's the perfect word for it, precise. Because if you're at 70% or better 2 weeks in a row, you have a job as long as you want one in this league, won't you?
And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down.
Grady Jarrett picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
Charles, not to point fingers, but how much of this goes on the shoulders of the offensive line? Well, look at the 6 sacks last week. That's the 4th in this game.
Definitely the bulk of it does go on the offensive line. That's what they're tasked with doing, keeping their quarterback upright and clean in the pocket. But I think they have to look at, okay, are we bringing in extra people? Is the ball out of the quarterback's hands quick enough? There are a few other factors that they have to look at to try and help out, but you're exactly right. It starts with the O-line.
The home team's offense and their quarterback set to take the field once more. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. That last drive, it was a good mix. Run, pass, defense on their toes.
And what really helps out in a big way is when you're doing the run-pass mix and everything's working, that means that they're guessing wrong every time on defense. They think you're going to pass when you run and vice versa. I would continue that, and when they finally draw a beat on you, maybe you mix it up a little bit, a little play action and throw the ball.
And will they maintain that balance? Time to find out. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield.
That one a gain of 20 and a first down.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing, because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the third quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
That's over the middle and caught by Ayuk.
And that's good for a gain of 6, and it'll be second down. And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 41. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 4 coming up.
To throw, it's May.
It fights him off, but he can't get away forever, and down he goes. And now it looks like we're going to get a timeout here. We've got a man shaken up.
But not what you want to see this late in the season. Medical staff is going to check on him, and we'll step aside for a moment.
And on now is the punter. And the way this offense has moved the ball, he hasn't been needed till here in the 3rd. And the punt over the side in the air, and the spot will be inside the 35.
Here's the Paris offense ready to take possession.
And our game's hit a little bit of a lull here, a little bit of a snag. Punts on back-to-back drives.
And old school coaches don't necessarily mind that. Didn't turn it over, right? Didn't create a big play for the other team. Right now what you're looking for is, can you gain an advantage in field position? And that's what both teams are seeking right now.
Yeah, they'll be seeking to gain that advantage here on this drive. And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this 3rd quarter. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. Welcome back now here in London as we're about ready to rock and roll for the 4th and final quarter.
Levis back to throw. Over the middle and caught by McConkey.
And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 50 catches for him now on the year, and he's got a 1st down.
All right, this is the time of the game where they're down a couple of scores, and they've really got to get some yards in chunks, and they know the defense doesn't want to give those up, but they've got to find a way to take them anyway.
Now the question is, can they string a few of those together? First down, here's the run with Montgomery. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage.
Drop for a loss there on a nice effort by Osa Odighizuwa.
Now they contend with a 2nd and 12 after the loss.
Here's Levis.
And his throw here's incomplete. He couldn't get the hook up there that time with Thomas. 3rd down here.
We'll see what they have drawn up here. A little bit behind the line. 12 yards needed to gain a 1st down.
And he can't find anywhere to go with it. And he goes down.
Grady Jarrett able to disrupt yet another pass play. That is his 3rd sack of the afternoon.
Here's Cameron Johnston now as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. Fielded at the 20. Able to fight through one tackle. They'll score that a 36-yard punt. And out will come the offense as they take over.
The home team's offense and their big play wideout getting ready to get back to work. And he's had some kind of game. They made it a point to get him involved early, and it has paid giant rewards to this stage of the game.
And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. Nice way to start the drive. A gain of 12 and a 1st down.
Well, that's the fear any defense has when the quarterback gets involved in the running game. You don't usually account for him, and he's hurting them today.
Yeah, he's been very involved in the running game. Defensively, when you've got the coverage good downfield, how do you account for him, though?
Occasionally, you start to spy him. Take someone that has the same agility, who can dance with him, run with him, and try and keep him in the pocket.
Yeah, it'll be especially critical here as we come down the stretch in the 4th. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down.
On 1st down, going back to Patterson.
And down inside the 40 to about the 38.
And hold on here, because on that last run, it looks like we have a player who was shaken up. Always unfortunate to see an injury, especially this close to the end of the regular season. We'll step aside. Play action. May. That ball caught. Brandon Ayuk. And he's into the end zone for the receiving touchdown. Brandon Ayuk, 38 yards. And the Monarchs look like they're going to get back in the win column as they extend their lead here in this fourth quarter. He has really settled in throwing the football, and that touchdown here in the fourth quarter gives him a pretty comfortable cushion.
He may be a rookie, but he's playing like fourth quarter, and the QBing is easy. How about this guy? Youngster, not worried about anything, just cutting it loose and having fun.
Extra point good by Prater, and that'll make this a 3-score game now. The lead moves to 17. After the touchdown, out is Prater to kick. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. The Paris offense out to have another go at it. And they unfortunately are staring at a mini losing streak developing, trailing here in the fourth quarter. This would be their third straight defeat. Levis sets up to throw here. And this one is going to be off the mark, too far out in front.
Even with such a big lead late, the effort hasn't lapsed one bit. If the offense wants to score some points in this one, they're going to have to earn it. These guys are not giving up anything.
Short throw caught by Pitts.
5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
He had a man open, but he missed him, and it's incomplete.
Another incomplete pass there. We've seen a bevy of those. This secondary, they've been pretty good, haven't they?
They certainly have. They've allowed the one touchdown through the air, and they're going to be upset about that later when they watch the game tape. But other than that, they've been absolutely right.
And he's brought down. Can't do anything with a football. It's a sack and a turnover on downs. A big-time sack there on 4th down. And the ball will go over on downs on the short side of the field. Well, at this stage of the game in the second half, down 3 scores, I guess they felt like they needed to push.
And let's face it, with this deficit, if they give up another score here after they didn't get it, does it really matter?
Right.
It really doesn't. They had to go and try and make something happen if they had any chance of winning this game.
Off the play fake. Here's May. And that is going to be incomplete as he led him a bit too much.
Now before this second down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes.
Taken down for the 5th time this game. Multiple defenders there to get him. That time, finally, a measure of revenge as they get him down behind the line.
It almost felt like relief, didn't it? Because with the success he's had throughout this game, you'd almost expect him to get free and pick up 10 to 15 every time he takes off. Not in that case. That has to feel good for the defense.
Call it a gain of 4, and it'll bring up 4th down. So on is Matt Prater now to try a field goal here. From the right hash, it's a 41-yard attempt. Prater's kick is good, and that will extend their lead even further.
So the starting field position was terrific following the surprising turnover on downs, but the end result, only 3 points.
Simply stated, I think you have to look at that as a missed opportunity.
And they will wrangle him down a couple yards shy of the 30. The Paris offense out to have another go at it. We certainly had a sense coming in here that these guys were in for a tough one on the road. That has been how this ball game has played out. They trail big as we continue on now here in this fourth quarter.
Slot man moves right.
Back to throw, it's Levis. And that throw behind his man, he missed him, incomplete.
At this point, down big, you'd have to imagine this defense are just going to sit back, blanket the field as best they can.
Yeah, this is actually the easy part of the game for them because, just as you noted, they can sit back, keep everything in front of them. But they've blanketed the field the entire game using a variety of coverages.
This offense so far on third down, they're hitting at just 30%, 3 for 10. This is 3rd and 7. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw.
And that's going to wind up incomplete. Nearly their first pick of the game, but it does bring up 4th down.
How about some applause for the defense there? They forced him to throw that one into coverage, and just like that, they're staring at a 4th down. Well done.
Desperation time now. Here's Levis. That is caught.
Oh, he's got some breathing room.
Down to the 10.
And he gets into the end zone for the touchdown.
Chris Olave.
70 yards.
And the Voyagers have got it back to a 2-score game here in the 4th.
When you're trailing in the 4th quarter, you got to take some chances you might not normally take, and here, that one pays off big time.
And you have to think to yourself, not only did that pay off big time for them, but what was going on the opposite side of the ball? They know that they have to take a chance here. They know they have to come up with something big, yet it still happens. So credit the execution, but wonder what the defense was doing.
Myers connects on the PAT, and that cuts this lead down to 13. And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away.
A solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32. Now Brandon Ayuk ready to bring out the rest of this offense here for this upcoming series.
Seems like the measuring stick for a receiver for a great game is 100 yards. Well, he's well past that now.
And as we analyze how he's getting them, that's where it really becomes fun because, let's face it, they keep sending coverage at him, keep trying to put the pressure on, yet he finds ways downfield and finds openings. That's a really crafty receiver.
From the 35, here's 2nd down and 7. Here's May. This one left side caught by Gibson.
And he'll be brought down right around the 37.
That might feel like a little bit of a lost opportunity there for the offense because the defense brought pressure that time. And sometimes against that, you can get out to your running back, and it can turn into a big gain downfield. But what a nice job they did getting to him quickly and holding him to a short gain.
And he brings this up to the 46. Good enough for the first. It goes as a gain of 9, and it moves the chains.
And that pickup of a 1st down, that's going to leave a mark because they really needed to stop them there, didn't they?
Oh, so frustrating. Defensively, you're a play away from getting that football back here down late. Tough.
Now they've got to find a way to create a turnover or takeaway. Otherwise, this one will probably get away from them.
To the air, May.
Sideline throw, it's complete. And a nice job there of keeping the toes inbounds. If nothing else, they've already taken a couple minutes off the clock here already as they come up 2nd down.
Patterson running between the tackles. Well, they nearly sprung him that time as he takes this all the way down to the 37. 60 yards on the ground for him now as he's done that on 15 carries. I'll tell you, far from ideal conditions to play in, but neither offense has had much trouble. Plenty of points to go around. 1st and 10.
No dice this go around. He's hit behind the line and taken down. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. They'll set up a throw.
He'll get this into the hands of Ayuk.
That will go as a pickup of 7 on the 7th play of the drive. This will be the 8th play of the drive here. 3rd and 4.
From the gun, it's May.
And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down.
Working free to drop him for the sack there was Amari Barno. Well, collectively as a defense, Charles, I think if you get 4 sacks a game, you're feeling really good. Now they have 6 as a unit.
And that type of a number, it's just staggering because there's so many ways to try and counteract it. But in this case, they've got no answers for this unrelenting pressure coming at their quarterback.
So on is Matt Prater now to try a field goal here. From the right hash, this from 53. And that's off the right upright, and it bounces away, no good. And the lead will hold at 13. So distance not the issue there. He had plenty of leg to get it there. It's that darn upright getting in the way.
Always gets in the way of a good time, doesn't it? Because he hit it square, too. Sometimes you can bank one in if you get it on the end of the football. No such luck there for him.
This is 1st and 10. Levis looking to throw.
And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
Levis out of the shotgun now. This one swung out to Montgomery.
And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds.
Well, following the play now, they're going to stop the clock here as a man is shaken up. But not what you want to see this late in the season. Medical staff is going to check on him, and we'll step aside for a moment. Now Levis. He lets it go deep for Olave.
And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. So it's our visitors with a football as we get you reset. They come up on a 4th down situation with things not looking particularly rosy. Running for it, Montgomery. And I'm not sure he got there. Did they stop him? They did.
And hold on here, because on that last run, it looks like we have a player who was shaken up. Always unfortunate to see an injury, especially this close to the end of the regular season. We'll step aside. They got to have 2 hands on the football here as they run on 1st down.
This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
He's going to get it again. Just looking to get forward and protect the ball. And he is going to have a 1st down here. And that should be the one that seals a victory. They'll go again with Patterson.
And he'll take this ahead for about 4. 2nd down coming up. Now the defense will burn their 3rd and final timeout as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play.
Straight ahead, Patterson.
And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or 2 shy of the 10.
101 yards for him on the ground now on that, his 20th carry of the ball game.
And they'll take a knee as the clock ticks down toward 50 seconds to go. So he'll take a knee here to wrap this one up, and he's going to want to keep that game ball. He was sensational.
So no shortage of offense in this game, but a very clean game too, Charles. Each side got its points, but they did so without committing a single turnover.
That's so true, and it certainly felt like NFL football at its finest, right? You talk about the highest level from both of these offenses. Neither one of them afraid of taking risks, and both of them aggressively pushing it downfield. I did like, Brandon, how smart they were about going about their business. They were high flying, but they took care of the ball.
Yeah, they did. And just keeping it clean in a game like this with all these points, you don't see that very often, even at the highest level. Job well done by both sides.
So for London, the wins keep coming as this one moves them to 12-3 on the year. And they'll get to stay home again.